Speakers made out of concrete? You heard that right. Today we're pushing the boundaries of DIY audio and 3D printing by casting these sweet looking speakers out of concrete. Why would you want to make your speakers out of concrete? And why a cylinder shape? Let's break that down. I'll show you how we build the molds, cast the concrete, assemble the crossovers, and install the drivers. Let's get started. Welcome back to Timber West Design, where we talk timber, shade structures, and outdoor living. Most speaker cabinets are made from either wood or plastic, but concrete has some major advantages. Less vibration equals cleaner sound. Concrete's so much denser than wood, there's less vibration, so you're getting more of the real sound of the music. There's no unwanted tone. Wood can add some unwanted tones to the music. The concrete absorbs the vibration, so you're hearing the music as a pure sound, as it was meant to be. The industrial look of these speakers give it a bold, unique style. Now, why a cylinder instead of a box-shaped speaker? The round shape isn't just for looks. It improves the sound quality in a couple of key ways. Box speakers have sharp edges that interfere with the sound waves. A cylinder eliminates those edges, letting the music come out more freely. Traditional box speakers, the speaker direction is more directional, whereas on a round speaker, it's a wider disbursement of the sound, creating a wider sweet spot for a more immersive experience. Now that we know why concrete and why a cylinder shape, let's get to the fun part, building these speakers. Here are the supplies you're going to need to make these beautiful speakers. You need some Cementol cement mix. You need a scale to weigh it out. It's a 4:1 ratio of Cementol to water. You need a way to mix it. You're going to need some 3D printed molds. Here's one of the sections. This took quite a few sections to make this. Some mold release. Once you have these cast, you need some sandpaper, some spot putty, some primer, and some paint. And then I've got this is a kit from Parts Express. I'll put that in the description, but it's the C-Note speaker kit. So I came up with this cylinder design for the speaker. Here's the ports in the back, woofer and tweeter on the front. I had to break this into two pieces, top and bottom. So here's the bottom with the mold. So 4 outside molds, 2 inside molds, and then the top, 4 outside molds plus a quarter for the top that I did 4 times, and then the inside section. So I think we're ready to go. We're going to send these parts to the printer. The printer's going to be busy for a while, and I'm excited to see how this turns out. My 3D printer was very busy on this project. I'm so excited to see this come together. This is going to sound amazing. My printer has been so busy. This project is taking 24 molds. This is a crazy project. So one of the parts, I need some threaded inserts. So I've got these knurled edge inserts. We're going to just kind of set them in the hole. And what we do is we take a hot iron like this, and these just heat up, and then they just get recessed in. Pretty slick way to put threads in a part, really easy. So just like that, and the rest of these things will get bolted. Next step is mold release. We take this canola oil spray, put a little bit on here. I like to take a foam brush and just kind of make sure it's spread nicely. Just want a thin coat, nothing too crazy. We'll do that to all the parts and we'll start bolting it together. So as I previously showed you, there's 4 sections, a top half and a bottom half, and 4 sections on each. So we're going to just start bolting these together. We'll put the top and the bottom in. I'll get these together like this, and then put these together. I'll put the top on the bottom, and then the lid. This is all the outer section. The lid's going to go on here, and then we'll get to the inner core here in a minute. So let's bolt this together, and we'll take it to that spot. So the outer section is all put together. This is a big mold. So we're gonna now work on the inner core. So what I've done, and I've done this on a couple other projects where you have an inner core with no draft, it's not gonna come out, so we have to make it collapsible. So I have this removable section that'll come out. Then you can pinch it, reduce the diameter, and pull it out. So that's the idea. It's time to put this together. We'll bolt this all together. I'll slide it in the interior part of here, and then we're almost ready to pour. So as you can see on the outer section, the bolts are on the outside. On the inner section, the bolts have to be on the inside. A little trickier to get in, and then I have the lid done this way. This is the piece that had the inserts put in. So I set that in, put the bolts in that way. Now this section's ready, this section's ready. We put them together like so. I'll bolt these together. I didn't put mold release on this yet because it's just easier to work with. I'll get it all put together, put mold release on the whole section, this whole inner core. Then we'll insert it into here and we'll be ready to pour. So a little change of plan here. I had a hard time reaching in and putting a nut behind this. So I'm gonna just put some inserts in this section. That'll be easier to take apart and put back together. So this is the plan. Sometimes we've got to change plans on the fly. I think this will work out better anyway. There we go. This thing's ready to put together. All right, I'll see you in a minute. So in the outer section, I just hand tightened until I had the core in here. So I want to put the core in and then we'll tighten up the outside. This is all put together. You can see on the inside, this section goes here. There we go. Okay, I got these little ears. I added on here to keep the height perfect. And they just barely fit, it looks like. So now the inner core is in. Let's snug up the outside. And this, just to snug up, not over tight, but just get it good and snug. So we'll go all the way around, get this thing ready, and then we'll mix some concrete. All right, here we go. It's a tricky pour, but I think we can do it. So as this sets up, I'll take a troweling tool and kind of tool this a little bit more. Get this nice on the bottom. Okay, a little messy, but we got it. Okay, so I've taken the bolts off. It's just time to start taking sections of the mold off. Oops, we got a couple more here. This is the most exciting part always. So these should come off pretty clean. Yeah, they're coming right off. This is easy, nice pull. Okay, let's see what we got here. Little tap. Okie doke. Ooh, looks good. I like that. Okay, there's the two back holes. This is going to be for where the wiring goes for the speaker attachment. This is for the bass port. And we're going to pop the top off here. Okay, so now we've got the inside to take out. And then this is the releasable section here. We pinch it, take that out. I love it when a plan comes together. This one comes out. Pinch that section, that comes out. So I've got that lid in there still. What I'll do is I'll put a bolt in there and tug on it and get that popped out, and then we'll make another one. So the bottom of the speaker needs a cap, and we're going to cast that right here. So this will be the bottom, the base of the speaker cabinet. I'll take my troweling tool and smooth it off. Let this set up just a little bit more, trowel it some more, and we'll pull it soon. Are you struggling to get a good night's sleep? NuCalm is here to help. It's a breakthrough system that's designed to calm your mind and get your body ready for a deep, restful sleep. I use it every night. I put on this blackout mask with these built-in speakers, put it on, and go off into La La Land. I like to use the deepest sleep, the best sleep ever. Click the button, get ready for a great night's sleep. Sleep better, live better. Discover NuCalm today. We need to screw the speakers. They mount with screws into the surface here, but the screws are not going to bite into the concrete very well, so I'm going to use these plastic inserts for screws that you put in here. You set it in so we just put the speaker in, take a marker, mark the holes, pop it out, take a 1/8 inch masonry bit, drill a hole, and knock those in, and then those will hold the screws for the speakers and for the back components as well. The hole is fairly close to the edge, so we're not going to put a lot of pressure on it because I don't want it to chip out. So just nice and gentle, not a lot of pressure, and just take your time and it'll go through. So we're at the stage of this project, we're going to build a crossover. So if you don't know what a crossover is, when there's two speakers on a speaker system, a crossover takes the signal of the low end of the frequency to the subwoofer and the high end of the frequency up to the tweeter. You don't want the high end going into the low and vice versa, so that's the purpose of this. So we have some inductors, some resistors, and some capacitors. What we're going to do is we're going to take this circuit board, we put them on here. I'm going to hot glue these on so they don't vibrate, and then we'll solder all these points, snip them off, and we'll also put the wiring from the input cable is going to go into here, then the output to the woofer, output to the tweeter. So we've created this bottom piece that's going to go on here. That'll enclose the whole housing. This is upside down, of course. But before we glue this on, we need to put some sound dampening foam in. So I got to put this on the inside. I've got a few pieces cut, so we'll put that in now. It is sticky, all right. So we're just kind of press this all in place. This is going to improve the sound, keep the sound from bouncing all over the place. Got this top disc for the top here. Put this one in place. And then just a little small piece here in between the speakers. I'm going to mix up a little bit of concrete. We're going to put it on this edge. And I'm going to use the Cementol concrete to bond this in place. This goes on next. Just like so. Looking good. I think maybe I'll just dab a little in here. And once this sets up, we'll take some sandpaper, clean it all up, and get it ready for primer. It's been enough time for this concrete to dry, so now it's time to take a block, hit all the parting lines, hit everything that has a bump on it. It sands pretty easy. Now this is about 60 grit sandpaper on this block. And as you can see, it smooths up really nicely. So we're just going to go through, hit everything, make sure it feels nice and smooth. I also forgot to add some of the foam dampening to this piece, so I'm going to peel it, stick it in there, and add that to the top as well. And we'll get this ready to prime, and I'll see you at that point. The first coat of primer is on. Now you kind of really start seeing some of the areas that need some attention. So I have my spot putty, my putty knife. What we'll do is we'll just put a little bit on here and just kind of take care of some of these areas that need some attention. I want these to look really nice, and for a good paint job, it's going to require a good prep. So what we'll do is we'll spread the spot putty all through here. Everywhere where I see a void, I'll do that. I'll sand it again, probably with 150, and then prime it one more time. Then we'll take it to that point. I'm going to do a guide coat, and I'll show you how that works in a minute. I'm on my second coat of primer on both of these. This one has the second coat of primer. This one has what's called a guide coat. So after the second coat of primer, I fog on a light layer of just a dark color. And then once you sand it, you can see where the low spots are. So it's really easy to see. So you're like right there. You can see I'm low right there. So a couple of choices here. You keep sanding until it's out, or if it's just too deep, you add a little more spot putty. Or sometimes it's just small enough you don't need to worry about it. In this case, I'm going to use a textured paint, so I can get away with a little tiny flaw here and there. That's just going to depend on the paint top coat you're going to use. So I'm going to get both of these sanded to that point, and we're getting ready for paint. This is so exciting, I can't wait. One of the features of this speaker is this port tube. This is an adjustable length. The manufacturer recommends 7 inches, so we're going to measure that. 7 inches. I'm going to put a dab of hot glue on this just to hold it in place, and then I'll go all the way around that. Let's do the other one. So this goes on this section of the speaker right here, and then I'm going to put some hot glue on the flange and then insert it in. Okay, we'll do the other side. We'll get to that point. All right, put that in place. You can put screws in this one, but they were really close to the edge and I didn't want to chip out, so I decided just to hot glue it in. I'm going to do the same thing with the bottom section. The kit comes with this binding post. I didn't really love this. I wanted to have the binding post with the cup in it, so that can get installed here. So what we're going to do is take the nuts off, put the binding post cup, glue it in here, and then from the other side we'll reconnect this connection. It's time to put the crossover in. The wires aren't long enough for me to really reach to connect the binding post, so the crossover is going in now. So it just barely fits in, fits perfectly down there. Now I can come in, connect my binding post to the connectors here, and then next step we'll put the woofer and tweeter in, connect those. I've got the binding post and cup in. This was a major pain to connect up from the inside. I think next time when I do these, if I do these again, I will use the binding posts that come with the kit. Our next step is to put these inserts in. We're just gonna go in there and just tap these in place. I'll do this on both speakers, and then we'll get to soldering the wires. There's two ways we can connect. You can get the slip-on connectors, or we can solder this connection, and I'm gonna solder this one. So just come in here and just make this so we have a good solid connection here. Looking good. We'll do that on all 4 speakers, and then we'll get to the part where we screw them in. I was careful to not damage the paint job, so when I soldered the subwoofer, I put this little towel down. So now it's time to just carefully put this in position, line up the holes, and let's screw these in place. There we go. We'll get the subwoofer put in, and then we'll get this thing wired up. For the power amp, I chose this Fosi MC101. What I like about this is it's got Bluetooth and it has a subwoofer out. So in the future, if I decide to add a sub to this system, I can do that. So it's time to hook up the wires. We've got the banana clips. We're gonna connect everything up, and let's play some fun music. I'll see you in a minute. I just realized I forgot to do something. There's some acoustic foam that goes on the inside of the cabinet. So what I'm gonna do is take the sub driver out, and this acoustic dampening foam just gets stuffed in here. Just carefully put this in. Okay, I think we're good. So I'll put this back in place, and then it's time for some tunes.
Gonna let the music take me for a ride. Gonna let the rhythm be my guide. I got the rhythm, I got the groove. Gonna shake it off, gonna lose these shoes. Gonna let it out, gonna let it flow. Gonna let the rhythm make my spirit grow. I'm living the dream, all thanks to you.
These speakers turned out awesome. The sound is tight, the bass is punchy, and they look awesome. If you enjoyed this build, let me know in the comments. Please like, share, and subscribe. Share this with your friends. And if you want to see more of these, I'll see you next week.